You know, there's something about that, right? When you get on the road and it's all crazy and everything, it's just it feels good to get back to like your roots a little bit and people that you knew before it all got
Of
crazy,
course.
right?
Oh
Of
yeah,
course,
man. It
man.
kind of just brings you back, man. Like never gets you, almost like because we're in the fast lane all the time, Edge.
Yeah.
Always moving around and stuff, man. Then, like you said, when you just ground yourself with the people, like you said before the game started, man, it just feels more genuine, feels better, man. It makes you heal faster.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
charges that battery faster.
Yeah, and there's also the people where, and I know this happened, like we grew up in a small town just outside Toronto, and I remember one year we went home, we're like, hey, let's just go down to this little club that we used to hang out at when we were kids, and we went there, and like there's some guys that were still doing the exact same thing that they did, 15 years ago when we left, playing pool and drinking beer, not really doing too much. So I'm sure there's those people too, right?
Yeah. Almost hanging around Pensacola all the time.
But you know what? Those guys actually make you feel good too, because
Yeah.
it's like, all right, so we did
Yeah,
something. Like we got out,
doing
we
all
saw
right
some
for
stuff.
myself.
Yeah. I had this dude show up. I had a book signing in the hometown, and there was this dude that used to bully me when I was a kid before I shot up, and he he's just he was just a dick, right? So he's in line. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And he's going bald and he's fat. And I was like, all right, I feel pretty good about this. I feel pretty good. I didn't want to be that guy, and I didn't say anything to him. I was like, hey, Jeff, what's up? Who do you want me to make my book to?
Yeah, and he probably told everybody you guys were buddies when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, we
You
were
know
for
how
a
it
bit,
is, man.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons we asked you on the show is lately, man, and not just lately. You guys are on fire, man. We've both been spouting about you guys on the show week after week. I said last week on this pod, I was like, the WWE shoots themselves in the foot when they don't put the Usos on a pay-per-view, on the proper pay-per-view, because nobody's
Man,
going to follow it.
Thanks,
It-
man. That means a lot coming from you guys.
Dude, it is so true right now. Not even right now. Back to your stuff with the Wyatts, like all the way back. But now, specifically, you guys have really targeted in on something that it just feels like you guys, number one. Doesn't feel forced at all. It feels real. But then with what you're doing work-wise, you're keeping it simple, but it's still spectacular, if that makes any sense. Like, you guys are wrestling like heels. What's amazing about it is just these long, drawn-out finishes and false finishes and everything. But if people are really watching and picking it apart, you guys aren't doing anything fancy. You're letting the baby faces do all the fancy stuff. And you guys, I've said throughout this whole thing, you guys are the common denominator throughout these matches. And New Day are amazing. They're doing great. And it's great these matches almost showed that they can go, because you almost forget it because of how entertaining they are. But from the Wyatts on through, you guys are the common thread here. And, I don't know if you get the props for it, but we give it to you on this show, because I'm just so impressed with what you guys are doing.
Man, thank you so much, man. Thank you a lot, man. That really does mean a lot coming from, one of the best tag teams in the game to do it. And yeah, man, as far as the work game, man, like you said, we're trying to sell everything, instead of just packing stuff in on the end, like you said, with all these false finishes, man. Like we're hitting these awesome false finishes, but we're letting them breathe. We're letting you gotta let them sell, man. Let the people soak in what happened, and then just keep hitting them with the machine guns, and then at the end, we blow their mind. They don't know what just happened. They're still soaking it in.
There's so many moments during the matches where you think that's it. And I know you got the fish hook in my mouth too, because I'm like, okay, that's got to be, what? Oh, man, now what are they going to do? And then you keep doing it. And it's I mean, you guys always did it when you were baby faces, but now as heels, I don't know. You guys have just found something here. You caught whatever it is to me, it's you guys. Yeah, it's a real extension of you guys.
What we had been talking about previously was, that you guys, when you were, quote unquote baby faces, right? You came out and you were, doing the Uso thing with the audible, being able to hear you guys do your dance and everything, and the chant and everything on top of the stage, and people loved that. You brought them in and you had personality, and you were, just the body language of you guys and your. So you were very likable in that sense too, right? You brought the audience in, you let them be a part of the act, so to speak. And that's a hard thing to do nowadays too, is to get legit cheers. And then when they turned you guys, or everything happens, you have to change to stay fresh, right? But it was almost like there was a turn where there wasn't a big kind of build up to it. It almost just kind of happened, and you guys owned that. And it took maybe a little bit for people to kind of maybe legit not like you guys or to boo you guys, but what you've done is you've stayed the course and believed in what you're doing, and it's happened. And now the product of that is these promos that you're doing now. You're kind of doing promos in a different style, which is great. The day one, the shirt, the look, you just kind of stripped everything down that made people likable about you guys. And now with the work as well, it's was that like a conscious thing, or how did you guys feel about that?
Man, we couldn't wait to turn heel, because when we noticed we was doing the babyface run, it was cool, it was a whole other side of us, like really being the good guy and running with that. And then, just like you said, if you don't adapt and evolve in this business, you'll get left behind.
Uh-huh.
And we felt that, you started to feel it, like, oh, man, something has to be done, something different. We got to change something. And then we finally, like you said, they kind of just, tonight you guys are turning heel, and then we finally got to do that. And then when we did, like, we knew this was going to be the time, man. This will really be our breakout character. Yeah. This is really going to be who we are. The babyface Usos, that was us too, but this one is really going to be who we are. Like, we can literally be us, talk like us, even work like us. Because we naturally, man, we're from, on the white Samoan family wrestling. You know all about that. And they naturally work like heels. And I feel like we naturally work like heels, So it's way easier. We're more comfortable with the way we talk. We get to talk crap to somebody. It's hard. We barely even got to talk when we was babyfaces. We rarely got to talk when we was doing it. Now we get to. We get to go, and we got a little different scheme the way we do our promos. We're just trying to, adapt and evolve and stay relevant. And we're glad we made this move. And no said, we were talking that if this move wouldn't have worked, like if we would have went stale right now, we would have been in some big trouble right now.
Yeah, man. Plus, Edge. Plus, I was tired of running around looking like a box of crowns for damn 5-6 years, man. Now it's just straight black and white, bro. I'm like, yeah, man. But every year, not even the colorful. Now, trust me, man, it's a little inside scoop. Like the paint, so like you said, the dance, the paint, that was all like levels to get to the Uso. It took years for us. We're always going to the drawing board. You guys know this to add these levels to your character. Like you said, bringing people in, man. We was always at the drawing board, man. What can we do? Let's wear bright colors. Hey, no one's wearing shorts. Let's wear shorts.
Right.
Hey, when we painted our face, no one was kind of painting their face. Ultimate Warrior are one of our favorite wrestlers, man. So that's kind of where we took that scheme from, like the energy, and we put it all, we wrapped it all in one, man. And we ran with that Uso, the Uso crazy for as long as we could, man. Roll it till the wheels fall off. And like my brother said, right, when you feel you're stale, man, you're okay. We're getting stale. It was time to flip the switch and flip the game. And I'm just glad that the flip was just for the upturn for the Usos, man. And I'm glad
we could blame Roman for that too, because after that angle when we helped them, the universe never liked us.
Actually, we helped Big Cousin. Yeah, man. It was almost natural for us to do it.
Right.
Yeah. But the Bulls just kind of stayed. They just kind of stayed with us. Like we would come out before the Roman, and when we finally started teaming with them.
Yeah.
It was so funny, man. Like we were like, yeah, likable baby faces. And then when we helped Roman after that angle, and when we come out, the boos, they just stayed with us. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Well, what's cool about it is the fact that you guys were listening and were smart to pick up on it, and also have the freedom from the company to be able to do it. Because I feel that's part of the reason. I think Roman's handcuffed. I think he's stuck in a position where if he could do what you guys are doing, he would, and that's when people would start cheering him.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's not stuck where he's in a good spot. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like if he were allowed to be himself, look out. And I feel like that's what you guys are doing, and you were smart enough. Like you said, the colorful stuff was an extension of you, but that over the top, marketable you, and this feels more like you guys. Because, man, I was thinking about it. I met you guys when you were. We both did. We met you guys when you were kids.
Yeah.
And it's so like literally kids, and working your dad, and you guys would come to the shows, and now to see where you guys are, and it's really mind-boggling, especially like when I saw you guys come out, just all black and everything, looking like you guys, and I saw a little bit of white in the beard. I was like, oh man, those kids got white in the beard now.
Yeah.
Oh, and trust me, I got more. So
I told you the tangle beard, man. We need to start looking at the guys, man.
Yeah, man.
No,
my brother tells me to dye my beard. I'm like,
no, man, it looks good. It looks good. Now I go, oh, okay, now they kick ass because now they've been through some stuff.
Yeah, we finally got it though, man.
You're grizzled.
Yeah, man.
Officially grizzled.
Yeah, man. Hey, the thing is too, man. We know it's like going back to the levels to character, so we know this would never get to talk, and we was always asking to talk now as a heel. And then finally, when they let us talk, they gave us like 30 seconds. I remember they gave us like a 30-second clip, and we've been asking and asking, can we please talk on the mic? So yeah, it's about 30 seconds in the backstage clip, after a match.